Hello and welcome back to Seahawk Central. I'm Davis Bell with Seahawk Central Sports, and as our eagle-eyed viewers may already tell, I am all alone this week. My co-host Emma Tillman is out sick. However, even without her, the show must go on. We've got plenty of news to cover and sports, including last weekend's power outage, some holiday cheer, and the latest from our basketball and swim and dive teams. Let's kick things off with Emily.
Thanks, Davis. Early Sunday morning, November 24th, power outages impacted several buildings on campus. The outages, which began around 1 a.m., left students without electricity for several hours, causing a mix of confusion and frustration. Here's what one student, Addison Lowry, had to say about her experience Sunday morning.
Basically, I was awake at like 1 o'clock, and then the power went off. I was really scared. All the lights were flashing, but it came back on really quickly after. But then again, around 4:30, I woke up. It was really hot. My fan was not working, and it didn't come back on until 9, so we had to go out to eat for breakfast. The shore was closed.
Duke Energy responded quickly and worked to restore service. By mid-morning around 10 a.m., power was restored and dining locations on campus were reopened. According to Duke Energy, the outages were caused by a combination of equipment failure and a localized issue with their transmission lines. 2 eyewitnesses say a transformer exploded. Let's hear from them now. I'm here with our very own Davis Bell and Parker Silver, who are eyewitnesses to the transformer explosion that caused the power outage. It's my understanding that you guys were there when it happened. Yes? Could you walk me through what happened?
So it was a night like any other. Davis over at my house, we were hanging out, having a fire as one does, and we're just sitting there, and all of a sudden I just hear this explosion, like, oh, fireworks, that's cool,
Yeah.
No big deal. And I look over the house, and it's like the whole sky is lit up. I saw a little bit of smoke and like lightning shooting around a little, or I thought it was lightning. At first I was like, it's not raining, so I was all confused. But it happened like 3 or 4 times in like, I don't know, a minute or so.
It was crazy. It was loud.
And then all of a sudden, we have string lights in my backyard. All of a sudden, all cut out, complete darkness, and I realized every other house on my street went completely dark. My neighbor's generator pops on, all his floodlights come on. He runs outside like, what's going on? And we're standing there in my front yard talking like, I don't know what just happened. And sure enough, like right over his house, I see another, like, I guess explosion, you want to say?
It was crazy.
And lit up the whole sky, and I was just like, I don't know what's going on. I figured power lines exploded because the power lines over the house were all shaking.
It was crazy. We didn't know what was happening. You know, we were just having fun, and then all of a sudden there was no power for what, like 12 hours or something?
Yeah,
at your house.
it went out around 12:30, and around noon the next day, it came back on, and eventually they sent me, they called me this morning, in fact, saying that, hey, sorry that a car collided with a pole and it caused a transformer to explode. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. They left me a voicemail talking about it, and I don't know, on the way out that night, I remember you drove by and there was a
we went
roadblock.
by. Yeah, we drove over just to see if we could see anything, and there were, 2 police cruisers sitting there in the road, so we just turned around and went back to his place.
Yeah, so
Couldn't do anything. It was weird.
Certainly a way to start the week. Now let's power up with some sports updates. Back to you, Davis.
Thanks, Emily. Sure was an interesting night. We've got one last sports wrap-up for you this semester, so let's kick things off with Swim and Dive with Taylor.
Thanks, Davis. On November 21st, Cameron Snowden and Mac Russell finished 5th overall in the 50-meter freestyle at the Gamecock Invitational. Snowden and Jack Van Howe had top 3 finishes, and the men's 800-meter freestyle relay took 2nd place. The swim and dive team is taking a short break, but will be back in action on January 18th at UGA in Athens. Now on to Ismail for basketball.
The UNCW men's basketball team went against the Kansas Jayhawks last week. The Seahawks went on the road to face the ranked #1 team in the nation. They fought hard in the first half, but ended up getting overwhelmed in the second half by Kansas. Kamari McGriff led the team with 18 points and 7 rebounds, and Noah Ross had 10 points. The men's basketball team's next game will be against Colgate University at home. The UNCW women's basketball team had a home game against the Winthrop Eagles on Wednesday night. Kate Hollyfield led the team to their 4th consecutive win against the Eagles, and with the win, the Seahawks improved their record to 4-2. Kate Hollyfield led the team with a career high of 17 points. The Seahawks went on to win 66-48. Last weekend, the Seahawks played another home game against the Norfolk State Spartans. Taylor Henderson led the team with 13 points and Ali Zalea had 10 points and 9 rebounds. The Seahawks started slow and they ended up not overcoming that slow start. The Seahawks ended up losing 71-52. The women's basketball team is spending their Thanksgiving holiday at the Puerto Rico Jalisco to take on San Jose State and UMass Lowell. Now over to Sarah with hockey.
After finally being home and sweeping the weekend series against Coastal, UNCW hockey flew all the way out to Kentucky to play Louisville. Now, these teams played each other back in October, and the Cardinals did shut us out. But since then, UNCW has been working hard and developing their game. At practice, there's been a lot of work on upping our physical presence and really getting after the puck. Picking up those wins against Coastal was a dub, especially where we are being about halfway through the season. And hey, the work came through this weekend. It was a split series, but the Seahawks came from behind Friday night to get the 4-3 win over the Cardinals. The next home game is going to be December 7th against NC State. The team will be playing State up in Raleigh on the 6th and then coming right back home for a game the next night. It's a bit of an unusual setup for the weekend, but it's definitely going to be a fun one to follow. In the meantime, be sure to tune in to Seahawk Central Sports on Instagram at SeahawkCentralSports_UNCW.
Thanks, Sarah. We're all looking forward to taking a break from the exams with some good old-fashioned UNCW hockey. Now let's keep the good vibes going and head back over to Emily.
Thanksgiving has come and gone, and now it's time to get into the Christmas spirit. Take a break from studying for finals and head downtown to Hidden Grounds for the Merry Market in their backyard. On December 7th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., you can shop local vendors, find handmade gifts, enjoy delicious treats and live music, and soak up the festive atmosphere. It's a perfect way to unwind and support local businesses this holiday season. Let's hear more from Justin Hefner, merchman and barista at Hidden Grounds, about what you can expect at this year's Merry Market.
Yeah, so our Merry Mart is in 2 weeks. It's going to be December 7th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're going to have 10 plus local vendors, so you can come and get all your gifts here, those little things for your family. We're going to also be selling our Hidden Grounds merch, and we're going to be dropping some new items, so make sure you get out for that. Some of it's very vintagey. We're going to have live music, so come out and shop with us 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. that day.
Thanks, Emily. Well, that's all for today's episode and this semester of Seahawk Central. Be sure to follow Seahawk Central News and Sports on Instagram and send any newsworthy stories you'd like the news team to cover at UNCW@gmail.com. I'm Davis Bell with Sports.
And I'm Emmett Tillman.
We'll see you next semester.